we on?
We're going, yeah. Good play.
It was just the lovers sitting in the car, listening to Blonde, falling for each other. Pink and orange skies, feeling super childish, no Donald Glover. It's call from my mother, like where you at tonight? Got no alibi, I was all alone with the love of my life. She's got glitter for skin, my radiant beam in the night. I don't need no light to see you shine. It's your golden hour. Whoa, you slow down time. In your golden hour. It was 3 a.m. staring at my phone, wondering if I'll forever be alone. Every now and then I still reminisce upon the night I met you when you touched my soul. Then I lose myself, calling up for help. Then you came and picked up the line, and I never knew you were here for me. It was hard to see that you came in my life and you only wanted me for me. But now I can see, and I never knew what it's like to be loved by an angel of light. That beautiful gleam in your eye got my heart erasing the doubts in my mind. 'Cause you know you shine. It's your golden hour. Whoa, you slow down time. In your golden
Woo! Welcome to the Now Show. Happening right now. I am Joseph Mojo McCarthy. I am the co-host with Dan and with Awesome Mary, and we have a special guest, Serge, today, and I can't wait to hear all that he's got to give. I'll get to share all about his influencer power there on YouTube and his gorgeous voice right now. Woo! All right, everybody, welcome to the Now Show. Here we are. It's another week. It's a Monday. I've lost track of how many episodes we've done because it just keeps going, keeps flowing. Dan,
It's pretty
here you are.
rad.
Okay, good.
Wait, can you hear me?
All right, so
Can you hear me now?
again now, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So every day, every episode is a new adventure. Actually, regardless of what we're doing here on the Now Show, every now moment is an adventure if you so see it that way. So we are creating this experience together right here, right now. It's not pre-canned. It wasn't done in the studio. It wasn't edited. This is us, and it's real right now.
Right now.
I'm gonna hand up the chain to Dan, who is the host. Dan, introduce yourself and tell us where you are today.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Like I said in our pre-show chat, I love us right now because I'm actually at the Rural Summit in Anchorage, Alaska. And it's a teacher conference that happens to be coinciding with Comic-Con. So
What?
like last night at registration, it was really interesting to see all these anime characters. I found the Ghostbuster car. I was like running in northern Anchorage and like it passed me and I'm like, oh. So it's just a really exciting right now. And it's the right now to have this conversation.
Absolutely.
So I'm really excited. That song was incredible.
Absolutely.
Um but just to let folks know, if the a very technical aspect of today, because we're in this different now, we won't be necessarily doing as much live interaction, if any, with Chatmosa, but
Right.
everything will be in our Chatmosa. So you can go later after the broadcast, go to chatmosa.com. I'll put the broadcast there, the YouTube link. I'll even put the X stream so
Yes.
we can share it around, and it would be great to have the world hear that voice. So
Yes.
that is just incredible. I want to pass it down to our producer, Awesome Mary, and then to our guest, Serge. So, Mary,
Yeah,
good to see you down there.
yeah, good morning, good morning.
Morning.
That's so cool that you're in Alaska. I'm super excited about today. We have a special guest, Serge, who is a VTuber. What is a VTuber? We don't know, and that's what we're here to find
We
out.
do not know.
Don't know.
And so this is really cool. We're super excited to hear about new technology in our show today. So, yes, take it away, Mojo.
Wait, tell us about you, Mary. Tell us about you.
Oh, okay. Well, I am a mom and living in Colorado, and I am the producer of the show. And yes, I am a graphic designer by trade, and I love hanging out with you guys, all
And
of you.
Mary, just briefly before we move on, tell people a little bit about your morning today because it was pretty cool.
This morning, yes, thank you, Mojo. So I
Full
had
morning.
a very early morning this morning. I had a amazing interview with Dr. Heath. I was part of a panel this morning with Dr. Heath and I think it was like 5 other people. So it was really great. We had some great, interviews. He had some great questions for us, and I will post it. I think it is posted on my wall here on X. So if you want to check it out. It's a recording on there. Thank you.
I was there. I was in the live audience, and Mary was incredible. She just shared some really intimate details of her past and how she's had to overcome trauma, really, you might say, as we all do in one way or another, and how she's moved on from that and learned from it and grown from it. So, congratulations to Mary as being the interviewee rather than the interviewer. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
so now to our special guest of the day, Serge, who I'm fascinated at what I'm seeing here because this is a live animation of Serge, and we get to hear his voice. We get to see the facial expressions through this technology, which I'm just vaguely familiar with, kind of from an iPhone experience. But Serge, tell us how are you doing what you're doing? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, how's it going, everyone? My name is Serge. I am your local Koi Boy V singer, as I like to call myself. Yeah, I am a VTuber. I primarily post on YouTube, posting covers of what I call VTuber, Vocaloid, and Utaete songs, and I can explain exactly what that means in detail later on. But
Yeah.
I
Tell us
mostly.
how did you get into this, Serge? How did you even find this whole new world?
Oh wow, man, we're getting into the stories already.
Yeah, let's go.
It starts with 2022. In 2022, I I always wanted to do something singing related when it comes to, and I've always wanted to do YouTube stuff, and so in 2022, probably around I would say like spring, somewhere around there. I got introduced to a certain VTuber by the name of Garagura, and they're very, very famous and very well known. And there's like a whole world behind it that I kind of fell down the rabbit hole. And the more that I was looking at it, there's I feel like it's such a wonderful way to express yourself in many different ways. You know, like some VTubers, they sing, some VTubers, they just play games. Some other VTubers are artists, so they draw or, all this different stuff. Um, and yeah, so I thought it was like super interesting to try and get into. So I just slowly started posting on TikTok at first with little covers of different songs, and then decided to start posting on YouTube. And the that's the story goes on.
Yeah.
One question, Serge, are you a particular age? What age is your character?
Is my character? Well, my character is in his early 20s. We could say that.
Awesome. That's great. That's great.
Now, your voice is incredible. I love the golden hour that we just heard. I've heard rumors that has had incredible traction and viewers. Can you tell us a little bit about the success of your VTubing?
Yeah. So basically, um, you can never predict these kind of things when you're in the limelight of the internet itself. It sometimes gets really hard to kind of predict when something will do well online and when some things aren't. So golden hour was just kind of one of those things that out of nowhere it just started gaining so much traction, like basically overnight. It was pretty insane to see. And yeah, I got so many. It was a very surreal experience at first, like to see so many eyes enjoying what I put out online. And
Yeah.
I think a huge attribution to that is because the second verse of that cover is a verse that I wrote myself.
Woo!
So it's not the exact same as the original song.
Yeah.
So I wanted to write like my own verse to it to make it different. And I believe that's definitely one of the reasons why it did so well. And also
Yes.
just because Golden Hour at the time, the original song was, very, very popular and everyone was enjoying it. So,
Well, I think you're onto something, Serge, and I want to get everybody's take on this. Is that not only did you sing a popular song, that's a great way to start. You sang it with your own voice, that gives it your own signature, and then you took a whole nother level and you wrote your own verse to that song. And I got
mhm,
to tell you, as a performer myself, that the more I try to emulate the original recording, which everybody knows, the less people like it. I can get really, really close sometimes, and people
mhm,
are like, that's all right. But when I take a song and I decide I'm going to stray as far as I can from that song without changing it to a different song. So if it's a guitar song, I'll do it on piano, or if it's a piano song, I'll do it on guitar, or I'll change the melody or change the timing. I'll strip it way down instead of it being a big production. And that's when people really are interested. They're like, I don't know what you just did, but I've never heard that song performed that way again, and I
mhm,
loved it. And it's been a learning process for me to realize the more I personalize, right, someone else's music, the more people like it because I'm not trying to imitate or emulate somebody else. In fact, I can't. I can't sing Bono. There's only one Bono, and there only should be. But if I
mhm.
can sing my version of one of his songs, where I'm not trying to imitate him, well, that's when people start to like it. Have you had some of that similar experience, Serge?
Definitely. And like this is some advice that I give to a lot of people who are starting up in the we call ourselves V singers. So like there's VTubers, there's V singers. Like V singers are, they're VTubers, but they primarily sing. That's what their whole main I guess shtick of their, content is.
Yeah.
To anyone who's like starting up as a V singer, I usually tell them like there's a difference. What makes the difference between like a good cover and a great cover is you have a good cover is if you just do the song the original way perfectly. A great cover or an amazing cover is when you take that song and you make it your own and you do stuff that will, put your own personality into it. And I think that's one of the big things that has really helped my success in the community is basically every project that I put out, most of them are all covers, but I always try to make sure that it's different from everyone else's. I put my own soul into it.
Love it. Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to hop on that. Let me know. Is it too
Nope.
noisy here? I can
No,
find a
no,
different
You
place.
sound
Working
perfect.
fine.
We're good.
Perfect.
Sweet. Awesome. Amazing. So, well, hey, welcome to the conference center. There's this
Woo!
beautiful
Yikes.
like mobile, right? Yeah. It's if you're afraid, sorry, I just should have given a like heights warning. But yeah, so I love that that because I thought you had written your own verse, and I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
now it all makes sense. Um and it's such a personal touch, and I can definitely empathize with that, and that how like it really levels up the experience, and it totally changes like going from a cover to like a cover
Hmm.
plus, you know.
Yeah.
And I did that with a song, one of my favorite songs by Joni Mitchell, Both Sides Now. And I wrote a verse about the moon, and I just said, I've seen the moon from both sides now, from dark and light, and then somehow, you know,
Yeah.
and then the lyrics just kind of wrote themselves, because you have this beautiful model and the scaffolding for something new. And that it's we talk about that a lot on the show, actually, the journey from imitation of something that you like, a style that you really like, to emulation of it, which is bringing yourself into it and adding like your sense of place, and then eventually creation, where you take the scaffolding down
Mm.
and you say, all right, look what I
Yeah.
just made. It did not exist before.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know.
definitely.
So
And I have a question. So, Serge, what is the history of V2 V singers? Like, where did it start? Where did it originate? How old is it? Can you share that with us?
What does the
Um,
V? Is the V stand for virtual? I'm just guessing here. What's the V?
yeah, so the V stands for virtual. So you have like virtual singer, virtual tuber, like as in YouTuber.
Yeah.
So basically, I believe it was right at the height of the pandemic, like 2020 was when it really started getting popular in America. But before that, it was very much just like a Japanese only thing, you know, like in Japan, it's been around for quite some time. I can't actually pinpoint what year or what time, but I believe it was pretty recent, like, you know, like 2018, 2019, something like that in Japan. Um, and you know, like right after like the pandemic, it started, you know, spreading out more towards the West and America and Europe. And um, there's a few like big names that can really kind of be used to say helped popularize it.
Hmm.
There's a company by the name of Hololive, which is it's a talent agency, and they really popularized VTubing across the world in multiple places. And you know, in 2020 it started really popping off, and in 2022 it started having like a second wave of popularity kind of push itself more.
Hmm.
And then now it's just like insane to see where the community has come. You know, there's like millions of VTubers in many different places now, and
Wow,
it's unbelievable to see like how
millions.
many people. Oh yeah, definitely. It's like insane to see how many people have really wanted to go the route of VTubing.
So this,
I did a little bit of research on YouTubing, and did I read this right that in Japan they actually have VTubers, like you have concerts and you guys show up like in a hologram, or how does that work? Is that correct? Did I read that
Um,
right?
yeah, no, definitely. So in like there's a lot of concerts in Japan that are VTuber related. I mean, VTubers are just massive in Japan. Like that's just a huge part of their um like culture, you know. You walk down Tokyo, you'll see billboards and stuff with VTubers on them and stuff. And
Wow, that's
um
wow.
but like yeah, there's like concerts, there's a lot of concerts in Japan specifically of VTubers, and they will show up. I don't know if you guys know who Hatsune Miku is, but that's kind of like the same style of kind of concert that they have, where it's like a big screen, and the big screen will have their VTuber on it, and they'll have it like all completely animated.
wow.
Um, in a sense that
That
it's
is
not
amazing.
not like how I'm moving right now and you can see me animated moving like this, like actual animations of them dancing and singing and running around the stage and doing all these crazy things, and
Are
it's
they
pretty insane.
are they actually live and then showing up as a VTuber, or is it like a recording?
So sometimes it'll be just a recording,
Mhm.
but other times, actually most of the time, at least from what I can tell, anyone can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but at least from what I have, the information I know,
Mhm.
most of the time they're actually behind the stage wearing a suit that will
Because
track their body.
they're
And
being
Wow.
yeah, so they'll actually be dancing and singing along, but they'll be behind the stage um, in like a suit that it is tracking their movements, and
Yeah.
it will move the character that's on the stage so
Wow.
that people can see it.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
so all of this is just reminding me of back in 2021, somewhere between 2020 and 2021, middle of pandemic. One of my students at the time was actually getting into this, and I actually it's funny, one of the songs we played on the show before, Another World by Sequoia, the one that was in like this lake bed, Marion
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
Joe. Um, the behind the scenes to that actually has Ben Hameen, who had this persona that looks a lot like Surge, except he styled it himself. He was trying to explain some of the technology behind it. I was like, okay, this is
Yeah.
new to me. But he was actually telling me about these concerts and how they would be backstage, and there's kind of a range because some would be like, say, if the concert's not actually at a venue, if it's in the metaverse, then there would be some pre-animated parts, or there could also be kind of a hybrid, and there's just this really rich um performative celebration of art, because you've got the visual and performing arts coming together in a very, very strong and present way, which I think is beautiful. And I'm just thinking through, like one of the other things that the sponsor of this show, Pearcoin, we do something called karaoke, and that's where we have people coming from all over the world. Is the goal to come together and sing and just share music. And the show was originally called. This show was originally called "It's 7 o'clock somewhere," because this was the time between when I would get my family out the door to like school and work, and then I worked from home, and so I just like kind of had this ritual where I had to have something creative, and that's kind of where this whole show stemmed from. So it's really interesting to think of all the possibilities, especially here in the U.S., that we're just not even
Yes.
aware of, for connecting, for performing. I actually see some of my colleagues. A couple of them
Yeah. See you
said
on camera.
hi
Great.
earlier. They waved, but yeah, I'll see if I can get them to say hi. But yeah, it's this is so stunning. Like just the is this something, so just very specifically, if it's okay to talk about, like with the technology, um, like is it just like an app, or is it a program, or like a special camera? Like what does that look like to actually engage in like the VTubing? Like if somebody was just like, I want to be a VTuber,
Yeah.
how would
Great
they
question.
start?
Yeah. Oh, wonderful question. W- Let me preface by saying this is one of the things that I love the most about the VTuber community is you have so many different aspects of artistry as a whole. You know, you have the performer who is me. I'm the person who's moving the model and walking around, but you also have the artist who drew this design, who drew this character that you see. And then you have what we call the rigger, which is the coder, basically coded the character to move and do all these different things. And it's a very beautiful thing to see multiple communities come together in order to make one single VTuber, you know? Um, but it's very awesome to get into this. Basically, the best way to start, there's a app, at least the way that I'm doing it. I have an app called VTube Studio that I have on my phone, and my phone is using its phone camera to track my real life movements. So if I move to the right, if I move to the left, And every time I talk, you can see my mouth is moving because it's capturing my face with the phone camera. If I blink, all different things.
Wow.
And yeah, so I use an app called VTube Studio, and I feel like that's what 90% of VTubers use. Some VTubers will just use their webcam on their computer. Personally, I always found that with the app on your phone and using your phone app, it tracks your face a lot better. So I have it going through the phone app, and I have my phone connected to my computer so that it can go into the VTube Studio app on the computer. And on the computer, it's how I can show it to you guys as you can see it here. So yeah, it's a lot of work to get a VTuber moving, unfortunately. But it is, to me, very, very much worth it.
Yes, right. So I wanted to ask too, Serge, do you have
That's
any
awesome.
do you have any say in the styling of your character? Is this your drawing? Is this your choice of hair, eyes, shirt, etc., or is that given to you?
So actually, that's a wonderful question. I'm glad you asked that. So funny enough, this character that you see here is actually a VTuber model that is called free, or not. What is it called? Like pay to use. So basically, this model that you see right here, actually anybody can use it if they pay the $60 to get the rights to use it.
Okay.
So I paid like $60 to get this one. And then this one has a customization option for you to change the color of certain areas of your character.
Okay.
And I can actually show you right here. As you guys saw in the Golden Hour video, I had blue hair and one of my eyes was yellow, the other one was blue. And I can actually change it right now to do that.
Wow. Look at that.
Back to the colors that I had during the Golden Hour
Whoa.
video. I also have this option, which is like a jester style that I thought was kind of cool, but that one I just made for fun. I haven't actually used it much. But this is the main one that I usually use because I wanted my character to be based off of a koi fish. So I wanted to use koi fish colors. I have the orange, I have the white, I have a little bit of blue in there. But yeah, so this one specifically, I got for $60 to have the rights to use it. Anybody can do that. It's on a website called Booth, Booth. But there's like you can. Most people will go the route of finding an artist online that can make a model, because like. Sure, any artist can make a model, but it does take a very lot amount of work. So most people, if there's going to be a lot of artists that are specializing in this work of making VTuber models.
Yeah.
So most people go the route of finding an artist, paying that artist a very big amount of money, and they'll give them a character that they thought up of in their mind for their VTuber. The artist will draw it, then they'll give it to the rigger. The rigger will code it so that it can move, and then that's how they go about it.
Love this. So there's so many moving parts here, and I'm sure there's way more than you've even touched on. But I love the fact that this is what my mind is doing here is having a hard time in a really good way. It's to assimilate all this because you're taking a 2D character and making it 3D, plus adding your voice, using artists to render a character that becomes a mimic of a person, and then it can be broadcast live, on a show. So it's like it's like that the 3D world suddenly goes 4D and 5D in real time, right? I remember back when the movie The Matrix first came out, there was a behind the scenes where they showed, that bodysuit where they got all the sensors, and so Neo would do his thing in a green screen room, and they would add all the backgrounds to get what we could see. That now seems antiquated to what you're saying is people are now wearing those suits, and as they are acting and singing, it's being projected with an animated character in real time in a live concert. That's just blowing my mind. I love it.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, it's a lot of technology. That's why I said in our chat before this, that everyone in the VTuber community kind of understands the as we call scuff. Not everything's gonna go as planned because there's so much technology involved that it's inevitable. At least one thing is gonna like struggle to keep up. So
Right.
you're gonna have to like. It's just very normal to have things like right now. I have a drink in my hand, and every time I take a sip, my whole thing stops
freeze.
moving.
Yeah, freeze.
That's kind of funny because we're both in like alternate realities here. So I was trying to, I don't know how successful it was, but surreptitiously grab breakfast while while we were on a show. Because if I don't grab it, I have
won't
to
get
go
it.
in for the
you
first
won't get it.
session. I won't get it. Like
Right, right.
and free food is like that's part of the conference, right?
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
I was just kind of thinking of some connections here too, because that I love how you touched on the point that there's a very wide birth of technology from kind of lower tech to like maybe you're using a camera on a computer or your phone, and
Yeah.
there's apps all the way to like the coding and creation of characters and creating intellectual property that you can actually monetize. And I'm just thinking of like the inroads here. If there's any, we have 22 watchers right now, which is great. And if anyone wants to put comments on, I can actually highlight them here on the stream. I can't, unfortunately, get the things from the private chat over to the. I'm seeing all these wonderful things to share, and so if it's possible, I don't know if
I can't share.
one of you can put it on X, either X
okay.
or YouTube.
Okay, sure.
Then I can actually highlight them. That would be awesome.
I have been putting them on X.
Okay, great.
Oh, see, I'm not seeing them come through X, only YouTube, which is weird.
Yeah, I'm on the Bartlett PEAR account.
Yeah. See, where is it? This is like live scuff. I love it.
Live
I love
scuff.
that word too. I haven't heard that before, but I'm just thinking like, so it could be, hey, Dr. Cook, hey, do you want to come say hi to like a bunch of people? So we're on a stream. Hey, good morning, everyone. So can you hear Dr. Cook?
Yes, we can hear him.
Yes.
Okay, he
Hello.
can't hear you, but this is a VTuber. His name is Serge. This is Mojo, and this is Mary. That's our producer.
I'm Mary.
So we have a daily show. I just have you as a guest, actually.
Pop in right now. Yeah.
But yeah, we're just talking about VTubing and connecting across the world through art and music. So, yeah.
Glad to be here, PEAR.
Yeah, and good to see you. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. See you in a bit. He was one of my college professors.
I have a question for Serge when you guys are.
Mary, go ahead.
Okay, so you talked about riggers. I think that's what you used to call them, riggers, and the people who do. So let's say, for example, I have a child who wants to get into the animation part of it, not so much the VTubing like what you are. How do they get into that? Because I've never heard that. I never heard those technologies when it comes to like, graphic designing.
Yeah, this one's a doozy. So so there's the main thing that all VTuber models use. It's the essential only way to get the model to move is it's a program called Live 2D, and basically what it does is it takes a 2D picture and gets it to move. And with Live 2D, there's so the rigging side of things is stuff that I still don't know a whole lot about, because that's just insane. It's like so much brain power that I don't even remotely have at all.
Are there like college classes about it, or how does one learn how to do that?
There could be. I'm not sure. I know that it is something that is possible to self-teach. So you definitely could you definitely could be a self-taught rigger, and as trial and error, you can get better over time.
So it's that new. It's that new. That's amazing.
It is very new. That's why like VTubers themselves are pretty new, because they have to use Live 2D in order to have this movement. There is no, at least not that I know of, there is another program. Maybe there is another program that could also do the same thing, but if there is, I don't see anyone using it. They're all just using Live 2D.
And you foresee that VTubing is going to become even more and more famous here in the United States, like it is in Japan. So if somebody were to look for some sort of a job or career, that would be something, since it's so new.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
You can make a lot of money off of Live 2D as well, and being an artist for VTubing models, because there's so much work that gets put into it that there's some pretty hefty prices on that work that has to be done in order to get a VTuber model. So
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was thinking before, and then I'm gonna have to like probably stay muted for a bit because I need to move into the first session. But just an idea back to this going from imitation to emulation and then to creation. Something in the US that folks might consider is you can actually design your own Snapchat filters, and that's a really dynamic way to take that image and have it adapted into something that is dynamic. And so that's that might be a possible thing that could kind of be like an inroad for folks. One of the things that we're talking about this conference actually, and this is tied to something I've talked about here a lot, which is this calculus of life, and just talking about the moment of now. Everything that has happened right up until this moment is a very specific set of circumstances, right? And so there's all of these things that have created VTubing, all these things that have created the rigging, and all of the ways that art and music work together in very specific ways for the culture that is right now. And then I was just thinking yesterday and having a conversation, like that's kind of pruning. You're pruning opportunities into something very specific. But if you look at this vortex of now, I'm starting to think of it as a vortex because there's a reflection of going from the pruning to the branching and braiding, because you look at that right now, everything that was possible, only one thing out of those possibilities came to be. But if you look at and take the mirror image of that and say, okay, I'm starting at this one now, look at all of these possibilities that are in this moment right now with the alignment of experiences, awareness, resources, culture, music, art. So yeah, just like I love thinking in that direction. So I'm going to stay quiet for now.
Okay, well,
for now.
We only got 4 minutes left, but I did want to say, I'm going to riff on what Dan's saying too, this vortex. So I'm thinking it's almost like a sands of time, right? You've got that, what do you call that? Timer? What's the sand timer? I don't know. Anyway, so all the sand is at the top.
Hourglass?
Hourglass. But only a little bit can go through that little neck, right? But then it goes underneath and it becomes big again. This vortex is what you're talking about, is all the past comes to this one point, but then where it goes from there, it's to be determined. And so the past is the roadmap that tells us how we got here, but it doesn't determine where we go next. That's really to be determined. We're determining it in every now choice.
We decide, right?
Yep.
And I just think. Oh God, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just want to say how much collaboration Serge has talked about already, because it is art and music, but it's also technology, it's programming, it's rigging, it's people who have extreme, vast array of skills, interests, passions that don't cross over. As Serge says, he's not a programmer, he doesn't understand how to do the rigging, but he's the performer, which the rigger needs in order to have someone to animate and to bring to life what's inside their head. So all this different collaboration going on from people with a vast array of seemingly disconnected passions come together to create something extraordinary.
Yeah. And I want to give Serge the last couple of minutes. Serge, so what's next? What is your goal? And what's next? And how do we find you?
Yes, very good.
So you can always find me on YouTube. My YouTube is my most prominent form of where I post. My Twitter as well, or X. Give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and pull that one up. I was not prepared for this.
We're scuffing right now.
Yeah. But yeah, like my best place to follow me on my YouTube and my X. That's where I'm usually active. As of right now, I'm currently working on some secret projects. I don't want to spill all of the sauce just yet, you know. But I have a lot of really, really, really awesome things that are planned for this year, and I'm super, super excited. You know, just to give a little hint, this face that you see right here, the face you're seeing right here, don't get too attached because he might be changing in the near future. You never know. And then yeah, I have some.
The name won't change, so we can always find you with the name.
Oh yeah, the name won't change, so you'll always find me.
Awesome. That's so great.
This
Gosh,
is so cool.
this is so cool. We would love to have you here again. That would be awesome.
For sure.
Yeah.
Serge, are you prepared to sing something for us to finish the show, or do you want us to play, or us to play one of your videos? That's fine, but we like to close the show with music, and I'd love it to be your music. So it could either be live or recorded. Either is fine. But we've only got a minute.
We can do. Let's. Yeah, it's the morning. I'm not warmed up.
No problem.
I
get it. Yeah.
Let's do a video here.
Sure.
Let me. Let's see. Let's suggest this one. This is my second most viewed. I put it in the private chat.
Okay.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. So Mary,
and then producer Mary's on that because I'm gonna have to turn off my camera. They're making us sit down.
I got it.
I just want to, so we're going to end with the video, and I would say thank you so much.
Sweet. I'm so excited.
For bringing me into a world I was unaware even existed. I appreciate so much your time.
Nice.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
And thank you
guys
to
for
the
having
30
me,
people
honestly.
watching live too.
Yes.
Thank you, Serge.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share, and we're going to close up. Thank you again, Serge.
See you tomorrow. Everybody. Have a great now. Make it great now.
All right, I'll change the formatting just to say. And if you want to go full screen, Mary.
Every time that I look in the mirror, all these lines, but my face getting clearer. The past is gone. It went by like dust at dawn. It's not the way. Everybody's got a dues in life to pay. I know nobody knows where it comes and where it goes. I know everybody's sin. You got to lose to know how to win. Half my life in books, written pages.